It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Phoenix Suns going up against the Pistons in Detroit. And guys, for the Pistons, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. And tonight, we get to see one of the faces of the NBA, Blake Griffin. He's battled a number of injuries, but Kenny, he's still one of the league's better power forwards.
He gives you a lot of things, Ernie, and I really believe if he didn't get injured early on, he would have been higher in the MVP voting last year. Terrific passer, tries to improve his range every season, now shooting threes.
Kenny, what are you talking about? Everybody gets injured. Let's just talk about how he adds a physical presence. You know, it's too bad him and Chris Paul could never reach the finals together.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Me either.
You don't want to argue.
That does it for us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Knock you out.
Mama said.
And now, the starters for the game. At shooting guard, standing 6'2", number 9, Langston Galloway. At small forward, at 6'6", number 22, Glenn Robinson III. The other guard, at 6'0", number 14, Ish Smith. At the other forward position, 6 feet 10 inches, number 23, Blake Griffin. Numero 0, the center at 6'11" out of UConn, having big fun around the rim. This is Andre Drummond. Your head coach is Dwayne Casey. Ladies and gentlemen, your Detroit Pistons.
We have an interconference affair lined up for you today as the Phoenix Suns come in for this one. Buckle yourselves in, everybody. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. With Greg Anthony and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. And for the Pistons, we've got another hometown game here in Detroit. They haven't started out with the success they had hoped for, but the season obviously is still very young.
You know, Kevin, this is a team that you would certainly not consider to be world beaters, but they certainly are better than what they've shown us thus far. I mean, it will be interesting to keep an eye on them the rest of the season because they've got the potential to make some improvement.
So the opening lineup for the Suns. They've got Anderson. Devin Booker out there with Crawford. Then it's Josh Jackson. And it's Ayton in at the 5 spot.
And Blake Griffin's drastically cutting down his mid-range jumpers. I mean, think about this. Instead of just mid-range, he's stepping out beyond the three-point range. But I guess the percentages stack up in his favor.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one drops. And Blake Griffin said he isn't going to fall in love with a three-point shot. But, Chris, he wants to shoot it with confidence when he's left open.
I mean, think about power forwards in today's game. I mean, they're almost expected to have three-point range. He's still a threat in the paint, though. I don't ever think he'll be a spread for, but certainly a welcome addition to his game.
No good on the second free throw. One thing Blake Griffin's teammates, Chris, talk about is the leadership he brings the team.
This is a role he's comfortable in, a 5-time All-Star. He's a hard worker, mature, and that's something every team needs.
Crawford's shot is good.
And, guys, this is what you like to see early on, gaining a little confidence from range.
Well, I wouldn't say that's his shot, but it's a shot he can make, and that really opens things up for the offense.
And Drummond kicks to Griffin. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Oh, he's so smooth at handling the rock. Griffin, I mean, for a bigger guy, he's a master at dribbling the ball.
The drive by Booker. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And if you look at the numbers for Devin Booker last season, I mean, he upped his assists and rebounding, his scoring and shooting percentages. He has continued to impress with his development.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Booker. And Greg, if you know anything about Devin Booker, so dedicated to his craft. What's next for him, you think, in taking his game to the next level?
No doubt. I think it starts at the defensive end. I mean, he's one of the league's best at scoring the basketball, but defensively, I think that's going to be the challenge if he wants to become truly an elite player.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. This should be a fun one to watch tonight, C-Webb. No shortage of athleticism for either of these teams.
Oh, get your popcorn ready. This is highlight reel material. Keep your head on the swivel or you might get dunked on. And if you're a fan, keep your head on the swivel or you might miss a nice dunk.
Griffin, no one around him. Good on the triple. Griffin's got 6 points.
Well, this is what Smith does best, keeping his eyes moving to set up the open man.
Crawford kicks to Booker. On the wing, Jackson. Crawford outside. And it's off the back rim, no good. Now the Pistons with it. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
And no doubt that the fight was there, but no matter what they tried on that night, it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, Greg, they just weren't ready for that game. It looked like they just weren't prepared. The final score tells you the story.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Lobbed up there for Drummond and stolen by Ayton. Booker with it. Coming in off a 41-point performance last game out. Anderson with the ball, and Griffin picks him up defensively. Lets it fly, and it's Phoenix scoring again.
And Jackson is a terrific passer at that forward position. Fantastic at setting the table for his guys.
Now, here is Smith. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Houston.
Well, he also made a mark with his passing and had the assist total to show for it.
Here's Griffin. It's a 3-point game. Just 5 on the clock. In the corner, it's Robinson. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist.
I don't think they were expecting that shot. They didn't really make an effort to get out on it.
And so Booker will bring it up for the Suns. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
Away from home, you got to execute, and they did that flawlessly.
Yeah, and they also controlled the pace of the game for most of the night. Outstanding effort in a hostile environment. Okay, 4 for 5 from the floor right now. Wasting no time getting this offense rolling.
And Robinson wide open. He shoots. Not enough on that one as it misses. The Suns have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. In the corner, it's Crawford. Back to Booker. Count that one. Booker's got 8.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
Well, yeah, he's a guy who can carry you for stretches, long stretches in this game. You want to get him involved early and often.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
Well, yeah, I mean, just think about it. I mean, Detroit and Stan Van Gundy parting ways this summer after 4 seasons, but that's actually the longest run a Piston coach has had since Chuck Daly ended his 9-year tender back in '92. But that doesn't matter, though, because you have to think what Larry Brown did in just a couple of seasons there, winning a championship.
Now, here is Robinson. He's coming off a 19-point game against Houston. He kicks it to Griffin, and stolen by Booker. Jackson against Robinson. Good on the bucket. Crawford's got his second basket of the game. And in the last 15 years, Chris, 10 different head coaches for the Pistons. Any concern on your part about a return to that revolving door on the bench?
Well, I think right now they're in rebuild mode, so a consistent voice will help. Still, only 1 playoff appearance in the last 4 seasons and no playoff wins. You wonder why would they fire Joe Dumars, who went to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals. You still kind of go back and you're haunted by that decision. But you're judged by your results, and hopefully for fans of the Pistons like myself, they can turn it around.
That free throw, no good.
And what I like about Galloway is that he knows his role. He doesn't play outside of himself. He's a dependable player.
Good on the second free throw. Phoenix leading by 5. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Igor Kokoshkov and I got a chance to talk for a bit. This is the first meeting of the season between these teams, and he stressed to his guys the need to rely on their instincts at the offensive end. He said, we do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses without forcing things. If we keep doing that, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if they can keep that up tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
David, thank you. Sounds like shooting is what he's concerned with most early on.
Yeah, they're looking for a controlled, patient offense today, and the key to that will be shot selection.
No, it's ball movement. The key is everybody has to stay involved on offense. The best way to get good shots is to make sure the defense can't focus on any one player.
Now here's Griffin. Over Booker. Griffin's shot is off.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
The drive by Booker. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Blake Griffin. And with the long season ahead, for the best teams, Chris, you get the feeling they wish the playoffs could start tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we see that with Golden State last year? It looked like they were a little bored during the season.
Right.
But what happens during the playoff season? That's why we call it two different seasons. But once you reach that elite level, Kevin, everything you do is geared toward winning a championship. Everything you do. And so that's why it's so fun watching the best of the best.
And Golden State showed that, of course, last year.
And what a summer it was for the Suns. Landed the top pick in the draft, taking Aiden, and brought in some talent through free agency as well. Booker signing that extension solidified a very productive summer for the Suns. Having 2 young players that complement each other so well is huge for an up-and-coming team like the Suns.
He hits the second from the line. Pistons trail by 10.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
To the inside. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. 8 points for Blake Griffin.
A big problem for the defense inside. I mean, once Griffin gets established, he's comfortable shooting the ball.
Robinson against Jackson. On the wing, Jamal Crawford. Back to Jackson. Anderson passes to Ayton. Down to 5 on the shot clock. For 3, Booker. That one will not drop. It's his first miss. He's 4 for 5. Griffin down low. He's covered by Anderson.
And using that wide reach to reject shots. Ayton can't afford to throw up weak stuff around the big fella.
Detroit's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Griffin. Again, Griffin missing.
Well, his stroke has not been what they needed it to be, but looks like they're going to keep going to him.
Here's Jackson. Off the left rim and out.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
Robinson for 3. The shot misses. And Phoenix the other way now. And this is their first time matched up with the Pistons this year.
Yeah, interconference matchup. Two teams that'll see each other only twice on the schedule.
And that makes it interesting. They don't know each other all that well, so we should see a lot of in-game adjustments.
And from the opening tip, they've just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Yeah, particularly on offense, where they've been completely in sync. Terrific first quarter.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Well, a crazy year for Dwayne Casey, voted Coach of the Year, but fired by the Raptors after they were swept in the conference semifinal.
Yeah, Kevin, but he lands on his feet in Detroit, and obviously they got a good one. The Raptors steadily improved season after season under his watch. Hopefully the Pistons can do the same.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Pachulia, he's checked in for Drummond. John Lure comes in for Blake Griffin. Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Langston Galloway. And it's Jackson in for Ish Smith. Great positioning on the putback.
You got to put a body on Pachulia. He's skilled at trying to use his size to track down a couple of offensive rebounds.
Daniels kicks to Holmes. Riza up top. And here's Booker from the arc. Detroit with the rebound.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Here's Jackson. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Jackson's got his first basket.
Even when the D is draped around him, Jackson knows how to finish close to the rim. Just such a skilled player.
Booker dishes to Ariza. That one misses. Excellent D there from Pachulia. Jackson has the open look. Open jump shot off the mark.
I don't care who it is. You can't leave him wide open from that range.
A nice shot by Booker. Booker's got 15.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
And the pass to Jackson. And stolen by Ariza. Pass to Booker. That's tipped.
This is why Pachulia's out here, to make his presence known with blocks like that.
Up top, Bullock. He's covered by Daniels. Pachulia finds Jackson. Over Booker. A second chance effort. And Lure with the lay-in, good.
He lives for these type of battles on the boards. It doesn't matter which end of the floor it is either.
Suns leading by 6. Here is Daniels. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. They get a hand on it. Here's Booker. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
The D doing everything they can to cut him off on his way to the hoop.
And the shot is good. Now just a 4-point Suns lead.
And how about the speed of Jackson's ball handling? Just leaving the D in the dust with his moves.
Daniels passes to Bridges. Here's Holmes. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Something affected him on that shot, and it wasn't the defense.
Pass to Lure. Outside Jackson. Back to Lure. Kicks to Bullock. Clock at 4. In the corner, it's Robinson. Outside Jackson. Jacks up a 3. No good.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Pachulia with the steal. Here's Bullock. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
All right, a chance to look at the numbers for Pachulia. Over the last 10 games or so, he's really shown up. He's getting around 8 points a game, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
Well, yeah, lately he's been overachieving a little bit. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things to come.
The first one falls.
And Reggie Bullock with a breakthrough year in 2017-18. He played more minutes in one season than in his first 4 seasons combined. And
he makes both free throws. And Bullock, a bright spot for the Pistons. Chris, the most improved player talk, in fact, about him. And boy, last season did he shoot the cover off the ball.
The second best three-point percentage in the league. If he keeps it up, he's due for a big pay raise.
Daniels with it, guarded now by Jackson. On the wing, Daniels. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. 3 on the clock. Phoenix, no good that time either. We'll see if they want to trade 2 for 1 here.
Got to time up that clock to do so.
Now, here's Bullock. He's covered by Daniels. Jackson against Booker. The Pistons shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And that one falls for Jackson.
As a kid, Jackson saw a lot of the world. His dad was in the Air Force, so he lived in Italy, England, North Dakota, Florida, Colorado. He was all over the place.
That one drops. He ties it up.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
Booker against Jackson. Now Booker, 15 points in the game over Jackson. A nice shot by Booker. Booker's got 17 now.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
And defensively, you know he's feeling good right now. And as the opposing team, you better adjust your scheme accordingly.
And so it's Devin Booker making highlights for the Phoenix Suns. What an amazing quarter. There was absolutely no stopping him. And don't go away. We'll be right back. One of the most dominant big men in the league, Andre Drummond, says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And from what we've seen, guys, from Phoenix, what do you guys see?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Yeah, closing down the lane, closing out on perimeter shooters. Interesting first quarter.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for the Pistons, Jackson and Bullock are the 1 and the 2. Pachulia is out there with John Lure, and it's Robinson in at the 3. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. C-Web, we're seeing the game evolve. So often the players are the trailblazers, and I'm sure there are guys that you think are changing the game the most.
How many times can you say we've seen something that we've never seen before?
Right.
And to be honest with about that. And Steph Curry, we've never seen that before. He's weaponized the three-pointer more than anyone before, and he's broken his own records. And the great part about it, he plays so balanced. And then you have to look at his teammate. I think at the end of his career, his teammate, Kevin Durant, may be the best offensive player that's entered the NBA. He has that type of skill set because of his height, because of his shooting, his passing and dribbling, and he plays on a team with some willing passers, and he's a 7-footer. So I get excited when I think about those guys. And then again, the ball handling of Kyrie Irving, I think that is changing the game, along with Harden and being able to draw the fouls that he draws as well on that fast break.
Good examples. Here's Jackson. A miss that time would have put him up. And so Booker will bring it up for Phoenix. They've led by as much as 10. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. It's deflected, and that one good. Holmes got his first points of the game. Pistons trailed by 3. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Robinson's got space. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time.
Oh, and when there's an open man, Jackson finds him, making it look very easy.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Devin Booker is a 20-point-per-game scorer since his 2nd season in the league, and he knows you have to have confidence to be a great shooter. He said, know the work you've put in, trust your game. Just because you miss shots, you can't doubt yourself. They're supposed to fall, and they will if you keep shooting. Kevin?
Next shot mentality for sure. Thanks, DA. And stolen by Booker. And now the fast break. Bridges with the ball. And Pachulia pulls it down. Pachulia's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Booker against Jackson. Here's Lure. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Lure's got his 2nd bucket of the game to go.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Daniels kicks to Booker. Drains the three-pointer.
But that lead's only going to keep growing if he keeps shooting like he has so far.
Pistons trail by 4. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. You gotta like what Devin Booker is doing in this one.
Oh, he's tearing them to shreds, and I'm sure the only thing they're talking about in this timeout is what to do about him.
So for the Pistons, Blake Griffin, he's checked in for Lure. Langston Galloway comes in for Glenn Robinson III. And it's Ish Smith in for Reggie Jackson. And the Suns here with a different look. Ayton, he's checked in for Rashawn Holmes. Anderson comes in for Trevor Ariza. Jackson, he's checked in for Bridges. And it's Crawford in for Daniels. That one good for 2.
And you can see how comfortable Pachulia is inside. Uses his size to get the shots he wants.
Here's Ayton, and Ayton throws it down.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure. Smith kicks to Griffin. For just the 4th time today, it is good. That one makes him 4 for 10.
Look at that. Griffin is such an incredible talent. He's made a living off finding ways to score through contact.
Crawford finds Booker. Now Ayton knocks it loose. Here's Smith. No good. That would have tied it. Here's Booker. That one, no good. And it's Detroit the other way. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. Nice shot by Smith.
The quickness of Smith, Kevin, is so hard to keep up with, which is why he's able to get these shots off in time.
Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Crawford dishes to Booker. Back to Crawford. Shoots. Good. And a nice assist from Booker. 7 points for Jamal Crawford.
If the screen's better, that attempt's a lot easier, but he nails it even with the D still up on him. Well, but for the Pistons, their 2nd season in the new downtown arena. I mean, all 4 of the city's major sports teams now play within a few blocks of one another. Something seen nowhere else in the country. Very special for Detroit.
Passes it to Booker. On the wing, Jamal Crawford. Clock at 6. The Suns need to get a shot off. No good from Booker. And despite their new arena, attendance numbers for Pistons games could be better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to have a winning record. Also, you have to make sure that you honor those of the past. When they opened the arena, can you believe that they did not bring the Bad Boys there or the Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton Pistons there to hang up their jerseys? You have to have a connection with the city. I mean, even in the arena, there's no signage as a Pistons. It is a hockey arena, so hopefully that will change, but you have to win first. And, you know, the city of Detroit is on a great rebound. I love seeing what we're doing.
Pistons have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And the first one drops.
Ish Smith with the best season yet in 2017-18. Look, he made dramatic improvements as a scorer. Career best from pretty much everyone on the floor.
Smith hits them both. And Ish Smith, in particular, much improved finishing around the rim.
That could be a challenge for a player of his stature. I mean, learning how to find angles to finish around the bigger bodies, that becomes key.
Yep, it counts.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
He kicks it to Drummond. And there's the pass to Griffin. NBA offenses have always been complex, and they always are evolving, but C-Web, the movement and precision now seems to be at another level. Would you agree?
You know what, Kev, I disagree a little bit with that. You know, having played in different teams with some complex offenses, it's still all the basics. You still have the old flex offense, and that's nothing but what Utah, Karl Malone, and John Stockton used some 20 years ago. You still have triangle principles, which is what Jordan and Pippen used some 20, 25 years ago. And if you really want to go back to the Bob Cousy days when he played with Bill Russell, you still have a lot of throwing it into the post and cutting off of it. I think the players have evolved and the players' skill sets are better. But as far as offensive sets, I don't see that much has changed, except how do you execute them, and can you execute them with having the right position players with the correct skill set on the floor at the time that you're calling the play.
I love your honest appraisal. Both shots good from the stripe.
And when Griffin is healthy, he's an effective player, a double-double threat who's tough to match up against.
Crawford passes to Anderson. Hits the three-point bomb. Anderson's got 5 now.
Bringing that three-point percentage up quite a bit this quarter, shooting it well. The lead's going to get a little bit bigger if they can keep this up.
Smith kicks to Galloway. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 3 assists now in this one.
I like the confidence from the guard, Galloway. He shows no fear in shooting off the pass.
The drive by Booker and the dunk by Booker.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Yeah, guys, and his teammates love it. That'll get him a few big pats on the back.
Here's Jackson, and Jackson throws it down hard.
Yeah, great job of getting that deep position there by Jackson. Once he's that close, he's ready to just power that one home.
In the corner, it's Galloway. No good on the 3. Suns leading by 4. And they have certainly been looking locked in offensively.
They sure have, staying aggressive and playing under control.
And Anderson kicks to Crawford. Another 3 for Phoenix.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
The Pistons have gone 7 of 11 from the field in the second quarter. Pass to Bullock. And here is Drummond. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Detroit, no good that time either.
Not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
Here's Crawford. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. This is his first free throw of the game.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Jamal Crawford. Both free throws good from Crawford.
He's so confident, so self-assured on every free throw he takes.
Booker against Smith to end the run, and an air ball on that one. Way off. Suns leading by 9. Right side Jackson shoots over Bullock. Jackson gets the bucket. Jackson's got 4 points in the quarter.
And his shot, has come around. For most of the first quarter, it looked like he might be in for a long night.
Griffin down low, working on Anderson. Here's Drummond. It's blocked, but he gets it back. Smith against Booker. Kept alive. Here's Drummond. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
Now, the energy Drummond has on the glass, it's really ridiculous. He's a spark plug, a real spark plug.
And Anderson kicks to Ayton. Jackson in the corner. Anderson outside. Takes the 3. Crawford, no luck. Pistons trail by 9. Smith feeling it out a bit. Pass to Griffin. Back to Smith from the arc. Drummond in the post. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Taking a look at Golden State, things going their way so far in this season. Right now, they lead the pack up front in the first spot with the best record. And, of course, the Suns. They're 7th best in the conference.
Well, right now for the Suns, it's early, but we can already say something about them that we couldn't say last year. This may be a team with legitimate playoff hopes.
Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for the Pistons. Reggie Jackson comes in for Smith. Bridges, he's checked in for the Suns. And so here's Phoenix. Jackson kicks to Crawford. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Oh, and the defensive chops of Drummond really helping this team. He really cleans house with his shot block.
Crawford missing again. And so Griffin will bring it up for the Detroit Pistons. 9-point game. Outside Robinson. That's in, and that's his 4th basket of the night. He's taken 7 shots, a solid 57%.
He played a very solid first quarter, and now he's taking it up a notch here in the second.
Crawford kicks to Anderson. There's the dish to Jackson. Passes it to Ayton. Over Robinson, and that one's good, Ayton. Ayton's got 4 points now in the quarter.
That's a tough size matchup there, and he takes advantage of it from mid-range.
Now the pass to Griffin. From outside the arc. Bridges with the board.
He had 1 3-pointer in the first, but still searching for that second.
Jackson finds Anderson. Kicks it out to Crawford. Anderson outside. Pass to Jackson. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. Anderson outside. Shot clock at 6. From the baseline. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And it's in there. 14 points for Blake Griffin.
Excellent at recognizing when to shoot off the pass. Griffin is so good at catching the D by surprise.
Crawford. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. Crawford's got the lead up to 11 now for the Suns. Detroit's gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter. Less than 20%. But they've continued to let him fly. And Jackson gets it to go.
Oh, man, you really like seeing Jackson get going from the perimeter. His three-point shot has come a long way.
Crawford looking over the floor. Kicks it to Bridges. Fires from deep. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's the Phoenix Suns in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, you guys are down right now. How do you get back into the game?
Well, the thing about it is we got to have some want-to, some defensive toughness, some grit. We're not playing with that. I saw none of that in our first few minutes of the game. I've got to see some focus and some fire.
I know you'll look out for it, Case. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Devin Booker putting in some incredible work. He had 27 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. He's been in the midst of some incredible games lately, and tonight, he's got it going again. Let's hear from you, Shaq, on the Suns.
You got to like their offense efficiency. They were patient, took good shots. That was reflected in their high field goal percentage. They just need to keep playing smart in the second half and close this thing out. Don't get cute now.
Over to Kenny. What'd you think about Detroit?
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
And welcome back to the Motor City with a look at the giant fist of Detroit legend Joe Louis. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. You know, guys, Devin Booker has been exceptional here.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them and really few forced shots here so far.
Terrific first half on offense. This is how you draw it up. We'll see if they can maintain that efficiency going forward.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you, 2 quarters in the books. Suns leading by 8. Second half underway. Here's who Igor Kokoshkov's got on the floor. Booker out there with Crawford. Then it's Josh Jackson. Then there's Ayton. And it's Anderson in at the 4 spot. Bangs home the trifecta. 30 points for Devin Booker.
He continues to be their go-to guy. If they close this game out, his stamp will be all over this win.
Down low. Here's Griffin. He kicks to Drummond. To the wing on the left. Crawford with the steal. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you.
Amazing awareness. He's committed to keeping his eyes up and teammates involved. That's the type of player Griffin is.
Crawford passes to Booker. On the wing, Jamal Crawford. Anderson outside, takes a 3. Another 3 for Phoenix.
Now this is what I love, how Anderson is ready to shoot even before he gets the ball. His confidence is through the roof right now.
And Ryan Anderson out of UC Berkeley, entering his second decade in the NBA.
I mean, he's one of the guys that kind of helped popularize the volume three-point shooting big man. He enters the back 9 of his career, and he's becoming a bit more of a defensive liability, but that stroke is as pure as ever.
Oh, it's a confidence shaker when you can't hit a wide-open 3 like that.
Smith with a wide-open look. Offline with his 3. Robinson against Jackson. In the corner, it's Crawford. Griffin with the steal. Dishes it to Smith. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
Having a little bit of trouble at the start of the half. Only 1 for 4 from the field.
Booker looking around. And he banks in the layup.
Timeout.
Booker's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
We know the saying, numbers don't lie. You can see it up there on the scoreboard.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Well, their goal was to limit their turnovers. I mean, they've wasted way too many possessions with giveaways.
So for the Suns, Richaun Holmes, he's checked in for Anderson. Riza comes in for Josh Jackson. And it's Troy Daniels in for Jamal Crawford. Griffin finds Drummond. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Oh, yeah, Kevin. Drummond, he's such a quick leaper. He's a force around the rim.
Booker against Smith. Holmes, the bounce pass. Drains it from beyond the arc. Ariza's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, that's because they made a concerted effort to get the shooters involved. Now they've built up the confidence.
Griffin inside, guarded by Holmes. Griffin passes to Drummond. 5 to shoot. Shoots. Rebound by the Suns. Ariza has the open look. Another 3 for Phoenix.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Smith outside. Pass to Griffin. Shoots over Holmes. And it's Devin Booker with the rebound. Booker's got his 4th rebound in this one. They double him with Drummond. Smith against Booker. Griffin with the steal. Now it's Griffin running. Here he goes, sailing in. Oh!
Goodness.
Wow. Crazy. And when Griffin takes flight, it's a sight to see. Some of the dunks he pulls are just insane.
And a terrific bit of chaos there on the replay, presented by the Under Armour Hover Havoc. And Booker kicks to Holmes. Passes it to Ariza. Another 3 for Phoenix.
And you can see he's found his rhythm here in the third quarter. You can just sense the uptick in confidence. Everything he puts up from long range seems to be going.
Here's Griffin, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Wow, the mobility of the veteran forward, I mean, so impressive. I mean, Griffin is talented at driving the ball, and putting the defense in a tough spot.
Pistons have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12.
2 shots.
And he makes the first. Pro basketball is one of the few sports where awards are league-wide, C-Web, and not divided by conference. I wonder if the NBA should consider giving out separate awards, for the East and the West.
Kev, I don't know about Eastern and Western Conference, but I do believe that there should be an offensive MVP. I do believe there should be a difference between MVP and maybe the best player in the league, because how do we define some of these things? So I do think we can tinker with some of the awards, but East and West, I'm not really sure with. I think it should always be about the best out of the total number of teams and conferences.
Yeah, good perspective. For Phoenix, they have scored 6 points from their 8 attempts at the line so far.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Reggie Jackson's checked in for Detroit.
1 shot.
Free throw good, Booker. Here's Jackson. He's got 9. There's the 3. Rebounded by Holmes. Suns leading by 20. Ariza outside. And John Lure gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Pistons on defense. Ariza outside. Clock at 6. Over Lure. Ariza no luck.
Hey, look, that's what they want. The ball is in his hands in the post. Just didn't have the touch that time.
Here's Jackson. Got a piece of it.
Oh, tremendous reach on the block by Ariza, making a real effort on defense.
Booker left side. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And, folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Jackson passes to Bullock. It's blocked. Booker outside. Another 3 for Phoenix.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Oh, yeah, up by double digits. They're trying to keep the momentum, keep the foot on the neck. That's his focus right now.
Smith finds Pachulia. The pass to Bullock. Over Ariza. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Well, Phoenix shooting about 59% from the floor offensively. They've been running without a hitch. Holmes. And Holmes throws it down.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
Well, you hear that? No, you don't hear anything. They silenced the crowd with this big lead. No sign that they're letting up.
Now, here's Lure. He averages about 5 points a game. Trying to end the drought. Got a hand on it. To the paint. Ariza kicks to Booker. Here's Ayton. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Detroit gets called for the foul.
And you just have to be enticed by the skill set of Ayton, a 7'1" behemoth who plays with a lot of physicality and skill on both ends.
Free throw drops for Ayton.
And you know, DeAndre Ayton, all that hype around him. He goes 7 feet, 250 with that 7'5" wingspan and already produces. But still, he shows considerable upside.
The Suns making a switch here. Bridges checks in. Both shots good from the stripe. You know, Greg, what amazes me about Ayton? The skill level for someone his size.
I mean, he can put the ball on the floor, really improving as a facilitator. You look at Embiid, you look at Big Cat, Ayton gives you a lot of those similar traits.
Smith against Bridges. Got a hand on it.
Wow, he's really been dragging him down tonight.
Here's Ayton. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
And DeAndre Ayton, yet another 7-footer who can stretch the floor.
Yeah, length and great shooting are in vogue right now, and Ayton gives you both. Can hit from mid-range, long range, the charity stripe. But what makes him really special, the added ability to score with his back to the basket at a high level.
One shot, mind the lanes.
And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for Detroit. Out of bounds, Phoenix will take possession. And this is what the schedule looks like coming up for Phoenix. On Tuesday, they'll head back home to host the Indiana Pacers. Then on Wednesday, they'll be playing against Lou Williams and the Los Angeles Clippers.
And for that matchup with the Magic, I think it's going to be an interesting challenge. Even though they expect to come out on top, this could probably be a pick-em game, depending on how they play.
Lets the three fly. Rebound, Detroit. Pachulia's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Now, here's Bullock. Defense is right there. Pass to Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Pachulia with it. Now guarded by Ayton.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, going up against a big run, trying to mount one of your own, I mean, it's exhausting and takes a tremendous amount of energy here.
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And Trevor Ariza, such a steady veteran.
I mean, just long, a versatile defender, can also knock down the triple. When you look at how far he's come since he entered the league, as really just a raw athlete, it's a credit to his work ethic, no doubt about it. He has mastered his role.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
Free throw good, Ariza. And Chris, Trevor Ariza, a player who does all the little things to help you win games.
Steady. I mean, he does the work. He doesn't complain. I mean, he's a soldier. One of those guys who will run through a wall if that's what it takes to win.
Ryan Anderson, he's checked in for the Suns. Ariza hits them both.
And during Ariza's career, he has established himself as an effective role player and fantastic outside shooter and a tenacious defender.
Now, here's Bullock, defended by Bridges. Lure dishes to Bullock. On the wing, Jackson. Looking to end the run. Rebounded by Holmes. Holmes got rebound number 5 here tonight. Daniels passes to Ariza. Excellent D there from Pachulia.
A hand right in his face on the layup. Excellent defense that time in the paint.
Jackson drives in. It's good. Jackson's got 11 points.
Now, whenever Jackson is driving, the D is nervous. He is just brilliant at completing his drive to the rack.
Daniels kicks to Anderson. Pass to Holmes. Anderson outside. Lets a floater go, and he sinks the layup. Anderson's got 5 points now this quarter.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Pachulia finds Jackson. Here's Lure. Off target from three-point range. Well, Phoenix shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. Now, here's Bridges. He's covered closely. Stolen by Bullock. Back to Jackson. 1:14 left to play in the third. Kicks to Johnson. Back to Jackson. The Pistons working the ball around now. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Over Daniels. They get it back.
It's been a really tough quarter for him. I mean, he cannot get his shots to drop.
Ariza with it. 11 points in the game. And John Lure gets the whistle that time. That'll be foul number 5 on him, and due to the bonus, we'll be headed to the free throw line.
And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic.
free throw drops for Ariza. And a different look here for the Pistons. Andre Drummond's checked in for Pachulia. Blake Griffin comes in for John Lure. Robinson's checked in for Johnson. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Reggie Bullock. And for the Suns, Josh Jackson's checked in for Rashawn Holmes. And it's Crawford in for Daniels. Ariza hits them both.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Detroit's gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Griffin draws the double. Crawford with the steal. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the third. The Pistons shooting a meager 37% for the game. Outside Jackson. Passes it to Drummond. He dishes it to Griffin. And finished off by Griffin.
Oh, you can't give up a lane to the basket, especially to Griffin, who makes you pay every time you do that.
Here's Crawford. The tray. Sinks the three-pointer. Crawford's got 19 points. And so it's Phoenix with a huge 37-point lead to end the quarter. And with as many three-pointers as they've drained, it's easy to see why they're on the cusp of a blowout. We come back right after this. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Makes it a tough play to defend because you also have to guard against him taking it himself.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And so it's Calderon who brings it up for Detroit. The big men are Griffin and Drummond. Thomas is out there with Calderon, and it's Kennard in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Detroit right now. Outside Thomas, just 5 to shoot. The three-pointer, no good. The Suns shooting the ball really well in this game, 58%. From 12 feet out. And there's Jackson on the assist from Bridges. Jackson's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Phoenix. Calderon taking his time here. And Jackson with the block.
And Jackson is an impressive defender using his huge wingspan to turn away shots. It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Thomas with the steal. Inside. This one for 3. They get the rebound. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
An absolute beast in the paint. As soon as Drummond has prime positioning, you got to foul him.
Well, C-Web, Andre Drummond, the 9th pick in 2012. Some teams had questions about his competitive spirit. Thought he was a little too passive with UConn.
His off-the-court personality might have fed into that. I heard he's a big teddy bear, but that hasn't stopped him from beasting on the court.
Take a break.
Here in the
Take
association.
A break. 2 shots.
That free throw missing.
How about Andre Drummond making his second All-Star appearance in 2018? He's been playing some of his best basketball. I mean, one of the top 5 or 6 centers in the game, if you ask me.
And he ends up missing both free throws. And Drummond in his 7th season, still just 25 years old. Chris, a lot of room to grow.
Yeah, and I think defense, believe it or not, is where he has the most untapped potential. I mean, with better recognition and communication, I mean, he could be a contender for Defensive Player of the Year.
Thomas against Bridges. That one goes. Count it.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Oh, that's why you see them flexing a little bit. They're feeling good about how they've dominated.
Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. It's going to go on Dragan Bender.
It's hard to tie Griffin down. Even when you hit him, he takes pride in outworking the defense.
You see, Webb, a big rule change. Defenders have to give jump shooters space to land. Your thoughts on that?
Great. Thank you. Think about if a guy is hot and you can't stop him, you should not be able to embellish with the rules by sliding your foot up under a guy. If we all remember, I believe that San Antonio was up a couple of years ago on Golden State at home in Game 1, and Pachulia inadvertently put his foot up under Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi was injured. You have to give shooters space to come down. You can't be thinking about that on the way down. We don't want players injured or hurt in this game because of a lack of paying attention to detail, and I think this rule really helps it. Defenders have done it for years. It could be viewed as dirty, but I'm glad the NBA did something about it. I'm very happy about it. And check this out. We're going to see a lot of guys knocking down even more threes now.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
That's his third shooting free throws.
Two shots.
And the first one at the line is good. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Every once in a while, we hear about the brotherhood of the NBA. C. Webb, when you hear that term, what does it mean to you?
It means it's the truth. When I got to the NBA as a rookie, the thing that amazed me the most was that I was already part of a fraternity. There was no having to be kind of welcomed in. You are welcomed in once you're part of the NBA. Guys want to see you do well. Right. Not against them, not against their team, but guys want to see you do well because they know the work, the effort, the sacrifice that it takes to get to this level. And that's a really refreshing feeling, knowing the guys got your best interest as long as it isn't against them that night.
Yeah, great perspective on that topic. The Suns have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Now here's Bender, defended by Drummond. Jackson misses. Detroit's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Outside Thomas. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. No good there. Bridges, no one around him. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 3 assists now in this one. Calderon kicks to Griffin. Over Jackson. Drummond. It's good on the putback.
Drummond always stays active around the rim. He does not need a whole lot of room to throw back some missed shots.
The Suns have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Here's Melton. From outside, off the mark. And so Griffin will bring it up for the Pistons. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Last year, the NBA moved the trade deadline to before the All-Star break, C-Webb. Did you like that decision?
It caused teams to make trade decisions much sooner, and I like that. But I don't like the fact that maybe if, let's say, I'm a fan of Utah Jazz, and you trade the player that we love so much, and he's an all-star, and I can't root for him as a Utah Jazz fan. So as a fan, it gets a little bit tricky because that's still my player, and I want to celebrate with this guy at the all-star break, but maybe I can't. But I think that what it does is it makes the teams much more competitive because no longer can you sit back and wait and have the time you could before to think as much as you could. Now you have to make a decision on who your team is, the identity, and do you want to get better now or take the risk now? And I think it's put some teams on the hot seat, and I like seeing teams on the hot seat having to make decisions quickly. Whoa, the D caught a break on that play. I'm sure that is not the plan, leaving him so wide open.
Griffin draws the double. It's deflected. Here's Melton. He's guarded by Calderon. And good that time.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, look, when you're giving up that type of height, you use your quickness. It's just that simple. And it's also a matter of skill.
And that's just some great vision there from Calderon to see the wide open man for the easy make.
The Suns have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth, 4 of 9. Here's Bender. His three-pointers off the mark. Detroit's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Here's Melton. See, Webb, there was a time when athletes spoke up about societal issues and they were simply told to, just stick to sports. That is no longer the case.
Basketball was built on players speaking their mind. The one thing about the game of basketball, whether you're from Serbia like my friend Vlade or you're from Detroit like me, it's an urban game. And you cannot leave the problems of urban society just because you were blessed with the talent to play basketball. And so many of us speak up on societal issues. Just because we made it doesn't mean that our friends and family are out of those situations. We're not in a bubble in which we don't see how those issues affect us, our family, or our friends. And so just because we are blessed with basketball abilities, sporting abilities, does not mean that we're exempt from the problems in society. And if we have a platform and can speak out, why not? And I'm very proud of what guys in the league has done, whether it's LeBron James and his scholarship program, or whether it's Chris Paul and others, or Steve Kerr speaking up for societal issues. For me, it's refreshing, but it also is in the lineage of the greats that started this game in basketball, speaking up for the voiceless.
Well said. Well said. The dive for the ball. Now Calderon. Fires the three. Cannon with the rebound. Phoenix controlling this game. To end the cold streak, he lays it in.
You can't find much better shot than that one.
Here is Calderon. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Kennard, defended by Bridges. Here's Drummond, outside for Thomas. Just 5 on the clock. Back to Drummond. Here's Cannon. Not too long ago, C-Web, triple-doubles were widely celebrated. Now you see much more of them all over the league. What's been the change there, do you think?
I think the change has been the style of play and the removal of the big men. Being that there are no longer a slew of 7-footers in there rebounding, guards can come in there and do some amazing things in rebounding. And I'm amazed with Westbrook coming in and rebounding over the 7-footers. You also have better spacing, and so if I'm a one-on-one player, I get past my guy, I can trust it that if I throw it to a wide-open shooter now, because of the way that we've drawn the defenses in, there may be a few more open looks. And so I still respect it. I still respect the energy, the focus, the fact that you have to be all over the floor to do it. But, besides the fact that there's longer threes taken, or besides the fact that there's more small lineups, I still think it's a feat to be respected, even though we're seeing an increase in them now.
Calderon for 3. It's hauled in by the Suns. Bender's got his 4th rebound in this one. Now, here's Bridges. Not a lot of room. Cannon from long range. That one, no good. The Pistons go the other way with it. Outside Thomas. Right wing. The pass to Kennard. Clock at 6. And here is Bridges. To the right side. Now here's Bender, and out of bounds. The Pistons will take it.
Cheap turnover. You got to make sure your target's ready for the pass before you let it go.
A different look here for Detroit. Lure comes in for Drummond, and it's Reggie Bullock in for Luke Kennard. Phoenix also making some changes. Rashad Holmes, he's checked in for Ayton. Anderson comes in for Bender, and it's Troy Daniels in for Isaiah Cannon. Calderon kicks to Bullock to the left side wing. Left side, Griffin. Bullock passes to Griffin. That's tipped, and he gets it back, and the shot goes down. A minute 50 left to play here in the fourth. Griffin with the steal. And Thomas, here we go. Over Daniels. Drops it in from 11 feet. Thomas got 6 points in the quarter. Phoenix controlling this game. Here's Melton. When it comes to playing the role of villain in the eyes of many NBA fans, you've got LeBron going to Miami, Durant leaving OKC, going to Golden State. C-Webb is having someone to root against good for the league. It seems to build some passion in sports for sure.
I mean, there can never be a hero without a villain. Sure. Even if that villain is temporary for one season. So one of the great things about the NBA is that our off season normally is just as exciting as the main season because of the trades and who's going where and the changing of allegiances, of alliances. I mean, so I definitely love all the movement. And, you know, the great thing is you're never going to agree with what any player does 100% the whole time. So I love seeing the changes in the league and having someone to root against. I think it's good for the fan soul to have somebody that you can honestly root against.
Oh, that's fun. And he sinks the second. 1:24 left here in the fourth quarter.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Suns.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget, and on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
And with the win approaching, they'll take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Devin Booker.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Oh, wow. Capable of scoring in many different ways. As soon as Griffin catches fire, he's hard to put out.
And now the fast break. Thomas with the ball. Shot's good. Griffin making the play.
And I love the fact that he didn't try to take on the defense by himself. Great pass on the move.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks to the middle. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And leaving nothing to chance here on this game-clinching run.
Yeah, that offense shifted into high gear. I love the attack mindset.
Stolen away. Here's Melton. And so it's Phoenix easily grabbing this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Jamal, how did you guys get this win tonight?
We have good players. We have a good coach. I mean, he put us in good positions to succeed. Our players play for each other. We don't care about who scores, and we're a real team.
Yeah, there was a lot of flow out there tonight. Congrats again. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.